Okay, Gene Boole, we covered a lot tonight, friend. We started with your scale, the major scale that we did on individual strings. You've mastered that. Well done. With the little practice time you had, you definitely got that in. And we converted it to something I call the on-off scale, which is when you reinsert the open string after every note of the scale. So you start with 2 open notes to set it up, but henceforth it's just on and off the string in that order. On, off, on, off. And in reverse. Whoops. Do that for E, A, and D, but you can do it for all 6, whatever string's calling your name. And then we talked about a few riffs based on that. One was Running Down a Dream, which is in E minor, and it does a chromatic passage. That means 1 fret at a time, 7, 6, 5, and then it skips and goes to 3. And before each note, you play the open E. And that last note, you can bend a little bit. In the key of A, we talked about Sweet Emotion, which is a little more challenging, but not much. And it starts with 2 open A's, and you're going to pull off from the 10th to the open note. And when you're pulling off, think down to the ground a little bit, like you're tugging downward to the floor. And play the octave. Remember, the 12th fret, double dot is the octave. That's the golden fret. And you head down to the 5th fret, and you pull off from 5 to open, followed immediately by a hammer on open to 4. That's the confusing juncture. You go. Just do 2 separate plucks, and they're each 2 notes, so you get 4 notes for the price of 2. Pick, pick. So the whole thing is. Simplified a little bit, but not much. Then we talked about your power chord scale. Just putting these power chords to the entire scale like we did last week. Still a nice exercise in E, A, or D. And we talked about a few songs related to that, those 2 scales. Won't Back Down. It starts with the A string at the 7th fret. And you do 7, 5, and then 3 on the low E string. And that's off the beat like this. 1 and 2, 1, 3, and 4, and. And then you can add your 8th notes once you're comfortable. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. And every third time you stay on the A string and you lose the syncopation. So you go 7, 5, 3 with no shift. So the song is Won't Back Down. This is just steady 8th notes. No won't back down. That's a repeat. You could stand me up at the gates of hell and I won't back down. Back to the original. And then the whole cycle starts again. We also talked about Just What I Needed by the Car. Same, not the same key, but it's the same starting chord, which is an E5. 5 just means power chord. And we shift immediately to the low E string, also at the 7th fret, then up a whole step to 9, and down to 4. And this is a full measure on each chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So these are great to practice your power chords. Way more fun than the scales. I don't mind you hanging out and talking in your sleep, etc. Then we revisited your open power chords. E5, okay, you're playing your E and your A strings. First finger on the A string. A5 and D5. And the most common pattern in all of rock and roll is what we call this, it's called a 5-to-6 pattern, but it's just you raise the fretted note by 2 frets, so 2 to 4. And we did Come Together this way, and I want you to land Come Together on a power chord at the 3rd fret instead of an open G. So it's here come old flat top, he comes moving up slowly. He got juju eyeball, he won't hold. Now shift it up to A5, he got feet down below. Now to 3. Got to be a joker. That's the whole verse. And actually I should have showed you this, but the chorus just takes power chords all in the low E string, and it goes 7, 5, 3, 5, just like I Won't Back Down. But the rhythm is a little asymmetrical, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 1, 2, But you recognize the song. Everybody loves the song. So come together, you'll know when to change. Right now, over me. So that's that tune. And we talked about your open chords, and we talked about E minor cadence. So you have E minor. Please work on this fingering. It'll help you in the long run. To A minor, same shape, just adding the first finger. Back to E, and then do the dance to get you to E7. And do that in a loop when you're sitting on the couch. Do it over and over again. Let your hand really soak it up. And we tried the shuffle rhythm so we could play Painted Black. Shuffle means you're accenting the up beats or the off beats. Upstrokes is what I meant to say. And you do the root on the first beat. So it's root, up, 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 root, up, 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 up. I see a red door and I want it painted black. So it's 2 on each, 2 measures on each, and the B7, your root note's on 5. So really just practice that rhythm on each chord independently. Then we switch to E major cadence. So that's why we use that fingering. Well, there's many reasons. Now it's E major to A major, and then E major to B7. And we'll use that for many songs moving forward, but we didn't think of one tonight. Well, we kind of thought of Running Down a Dream, the rhythm part. So this is your backbeat rhythm, where you're doing 8th notes on the low strings, and then the 2 and 4 are accented with extra notes. 1 and 2 and 4. Have fun with that, work on your backbeat rhythm, and then briefly at the end of the lesson I introduced the key of A. So these are chords you know, we're just organizing them with key centers in mind. So we took an A minor, and you can shift it down whole cloth and then just poke your ring finger up to the 3rd fret, that gives you D minor. So A minor to D minor, A minor to E7, which is an E major without your ring finger. So that's a very easy shift, A minor to E7. It's almost like you're not doing much. So A minor, D minor, that's your new key center for this week. And then do it in the major. You just make the 1 and the 4 chord major. That means the A and the D. So now it's A major to D major, E7. With any of these cadences, you could take your stock little folky strum that you know well, and once you've absorbed it, because the backbeat rhythm, the shuffle rhythm are great to start on, but they're a little bit more complicated. You can just go. Next week, we'll put your open chords to work playing songs. And you can switch to A minor. Sorry, a song's coming into my mind for this 2 chords. I think you guys like Wilco. Jesus, etc. is D minor to A minor. Jesus, don't cry.